Okay, we're going to start a new lesson. This is lesson 8. This is found on page 189 in your workbooks, okay? So friends, what I want you to know is this lesson that we are going to be working on this week, we're going to be using the same type of strategies that we have been talking about the past week or two, okay? So things that we've learned, we're going to kind of start to connect it a little bit, but we're going to still add a little bit of challenge in with this. So this first one, we're just going to try this one out. Remember, this is going to be something that's new to us. So even if we don't know it right away, that's why we try it. Trying is just when we do our best effort. So it says, Elizabeth has 35 toy cars. How can she put her toy cars on the top and bottom shelves of her bookcase? Show 3 ways. So all they're asking, friends, is we have a grand total, right? We know our total is 35 cars. Elizabeth has 35 cars. She needs to know, she's going to organize this. She needs to know if I have a shelf and I have the top shelf right here and the bottom shelf, how could I split 35 up? Well, there are a bunch of ways we can split 35 up. So our goal, friends, is to get 2 answers that equal 35. Because we can't go over 35, we can't go under 35, we have to have 35, okay? So we're not taking any away, we're just splitting up 35 into 2 numbers. So if we split up 35 into 2 numbers, we could have 35 plus 0. We can put all 35 cars on this top shelf and put none on the bottom shelf, right? There would be one. Another one, let's go if I put 30 cars up top. If I have 30 cars and I have a total of 35 total, how many would that mean that would go on the bottom? If I have 30 up top, how many would go on the bottom so I still have a total of 35? Well, 5 would. So I could do 30 plus 5. So 30 on the top shelf, 5 on the bottom shelf. I still get a total of 35. What about if I did 20? 20 cars on that top shelf. If I did 20 cars on that top shelf, how many would go on that bottom shelf? Well, I know if I had 25, I am 10 away. And then 5 is 5 away from 20. So maybe if I have 15, 20 plus 15. Maybe if I did 25 on the top shelf, I could add 5 more on the bottom shelf and I would get 35. So the 3 ways, well, we just did 4. You did 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have other ways to make 35 and you are still adding, go ahead and write them down. See which ones you can make, or see how many ways you can make 35 out of 2 numbers. It doesn't have to be these numbers. Remember, I just made those ones up. So you may have done completely different numbers, but as long as they add and make up to 35, you got it. All right, so there is our first question. So if you're still working on that one, you're still coming up with different ways, you can pause this video. I'm going to go ahead and move forward, okay? So now we're going to look back at our work, okay? Look back. It says, what are 3 ways that Elizabeth can put her toy cars on the top and bottom shelves of her bookcase? So right now they're just asking us to rewrite it. They're saying we found 30 plus 5 equals 35. If I have 25 plus 10 equals 35. They're just asking us to write them again. Then I have 20 plus 15 equals 35. I know these ones all match without me having to do any math because I know 5 is away from, if I add 5 to 30, I get 35. Well, I took another 5 away from 30. So 5 plus 5 equals 10. I took another 5, so I would just have to add 5 more to 10 to get 15. So those are just easy ways that we can solve to make 35. This one, we're going to start looking ahead. So that one was looking back. We looked at the problem we just solved and we wrote it again. It says look ahead. It says you can use different strategies to solve addition and subtraction problems. Think about the problem. Gary has 50 marbles. What are some different ways he can put them all into 2 bags? So this is just what we did with our cars up here, except now we're working with 50 marbles. We have 50 marbles and we need to put them into 2 bags. That was a picture of 2 bags. I'm not an artist, friends. So we have 2 bags. This is bag 1 and bag 2. We need to know how many marbles can we fit in both bags and still have a total of 50. So what are 2 numbers that equal 50? You could do 50 marbles and 0, right? You can put all 50 marbles in one bag and no marbles in another. Maybe you'll do 49. Maybe you want to do all 49 marbles and one of them has to be in the second bag. Maybe you're going to do 40 in one bag and 10 in another, because you know that's a way to make 50. Maybe you're going to do 35 in one bag and 15 in another to make 50. So all we're doing here, friends, we are trying to solve different ways to make 50. So I'm going to go ahead and write down. The only reason I'm erasing this one is because I want a number other than 0 so we can see a pattern. So let's say I am working with 40 plus 10. So let's do 40 plus 10. Complete the equations to show 3 different ways. Well, 40 plus 10 equals 50, so that's the same thing as saying we're going to do some fact families now, okay? 50 minus 10 equals 40. Here I'm doing another addition problem that equals 50, but I already did 40 plus 10, so I'm going to do 10 plus 40. So it's just asking us to come up with different ways to solve a larger number. You can notice that the pattern that I have went through is going to tens first. We found that working with tens are the easiest. Maybe working with fives as well. 5, 10, 15, 20. Doing all those are easy as well. They're easier to do. And on the bottom it says, are there other ways Gary could put the marbles into 2 bags? So all I'm going to say is there another way we can put marbles into 2 bags, or are these the only 2 answers that I could possibly get? No, there are a bunch of ways. So are there other ways Gary could put marbles into 2 bags? Yes, as long as the 2 numbers equal 50, right? Our main goal is that we have 50 marbles and we need to put them in 2 bags, right? So they're saying, is there another way we can do this? Well, of course. You can do 49 plus 1. You can do 48 plus 2. You can do 47 plus 3. And it goes on and on and on. So, yeah, as long as you put the 2 numbers, as long as the 2 numbers equal 50. Now we are going to start looking into what is a strategy. So we have learned this vocab word a bunch of different times, right, friends? So it says, think about what you know about different ways to add and subtract. Fill in each box. Use words, numbers, and pictures. Show as many ideas as you can. Well, so let's think of different strategies we do to solve problems. So we have our stacking strategy, right, friends? 42 minus 15. We know if we have more on top, don't stop. More on the floor, go next door and borrow some more. So we know a strategy would be to take 1 away from our 4 and to put a 3. We're going to carry that 10 over here. So we have 12 minus 5 equals 7. 3 minus 1 equals 2. There's a strategy. We just did our stacking strategy. Another strategy we just got through with was the counting on. So let's say we have the same number, 42 minus 15. We want to get to 42. The nearest 10 is 20. It took 5 jumps. And then we know if we do, how many jumps can we possibly get to if we count by tens to get as close as we can to 42? Well, we have 20, 30, 40. We have 20 jumps. We can't go over 40, so that's the reason why I'm going to stop there. And then we have 2 more jumps at the end. I know if I add 20 plus 2 plus 5, I get 27. There's another strategy we did. You could also draw a picture. So like let's say we're doing, let's say we're doing 23 minus 5. You can draw our tens. We have 2 tens. And we have 3 ones. And we are now taking away 5. So how do we take away 5? Well, we're going to cross out 3. Uh-oh, looks like we're going to have to regroup. We're going to have to take this 1 and we're going to have to break it into ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I already got rid of 3. I couldn't stop there because I have to get rid of a total of 5, right? So I had to now borrow from my tens. My 10 now became 10 ones. I have 3, 4, 5. So my answer is I have 1 10 now. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 ones. So my answer is 18 for that one. I can draw a picture to help solve. Maybe we can do our number line strategy again, but we're going to do 68 minus 29. Maybe we're going to start at 68. And let's count backwards this time. So instead of this way we were going that direction, this time let's go this direction. That's another strategy. So the closest 10 going down. So I can't go over 68, so the closest 10 going down would be 60. So I'm going to draw an arrow, and if I jump from 68 to 60, I did 8 jumps. And then the closest 10 I have to this one. Remember, I can't go under 29, so 60, 50, 40, 30. Oh, I can't go under 29, so I'm going to stop there. So it took me 3 tens. 3 tens is the same thing as saying 30, and I got to 30. So 30 plus 30 equals 60. And now I have 1 more little jump of 1. My next step, I have to add these jumps together. So I have 30 plus 8 plus 1. And I get 8 plus 1 equals 9. And 3 plus 0 equals 3. So I know my answer is 39. So friends, all we're doing here, or we're just showing all the different strategies that we have so far. All the different ones that we have. Maybe for your other number line strategy, we are going, see how last time we jumped to the nearest 10? Maybe we want to start with 10. So let's try that one out. Let's use our same number, 42 minus 15. So we have 15 and we have 42. All right. So 15, let's count by 10 starting off the back. So 15, 25, 35, 4. Oh, I can't go over 42. So if I do 25, 35, Nova, sorry friends. Nova, move. Goodness gracious. Okay, so we have 15. We're going to jump by 10. So 15, 25, 35. So if I do 2 jumps of 10, I can get 235. 2 jumps of 10 is 20. And then my nearest 10 is 40. So I'm going to do another jump. And I get 5. And then another jump here, 40 to 42. That's 2 jumps. So I'm going to add 20 plus 5 plus 2. And I get 7 and 2. So 27. So friends, these are just all different strategies that we have learned about, that we've went over. So whenever I say, what strategy do you like best? You guys have been picking between these 4. I don't like the last strategy that they gave us, so I'm just going to focus with these ones right now, okay? Let's go ahead and look at this bottom question. It says, Clark solves our mystery number minus 23 equals 19 by counting up on a number line. Did he use this strategy correctly? Explain. So, whenever we've used a strategy, has our mystery number been at the front? Think about the last week or so. Whenever we've encountered a problem, have we had our mystery number at the front? No. So, he did not use this strategy correctly. No. He should have started at 23 and added on 19 to get to 43 or 42. So friends, if we were to do this strategy correctly, and we're using these two numbers, and we're doing our counting up strategy on a number line. So that means we're going to start with 23, and we don't know what we're going to add on to, but we know we're going to add 19. So let's just add a group of 10 first. So if I add 10 to 23, I'm going to get 33, right? I know I'm kind of writing on that line. So I just added 10 more. I need to get up to 19. So 9 more. So let's break up 9. Let's go ahead, or let's just skip to the 9 at the end, okay? Let's just do 9 right there. So 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So if he did this strategy correctly, friends, he would have started at 23, added on 19, right? Because we're doing the adding up strategy, and we would eventually get 42. So as long as you, friends, have this sentence, you are good. Nova, please don't do that. All right. So that is our first page. We have one more. Hang in there with me. We are almost through, okay? You guys are doing awesome. All right. We haven't even learned anything new. Right now we're just reviewing everything that we've learned. Now we're going to put it to use, okay? Diana has 42 dolls. How can she put her dolls on the top and bottom shelves of her bookcase? So this is just like our try it problem, okay? So if we have 42 dolls, we have a total of 42, and we need to put them in a bookshelf. I'm just going to kind of draw this bookshelf again just to kind of help you visualize. This is our top shelf. This is our bottom shelf. We need to know how many can we put in the top shelf, how many we can add in the bottom shelf. Well, we know that we can come up with a bunch of different ways, but they ask for 3 ways. So I'm going to give one right here. So let's say I added 40 on the top shelf. If I added 40 on the top shelf, how many would I have to add to the bottom shelf to get to 42? I would have to add 2, right? So I can maybe fit 40 dolls on the top shelf, 2 dolls on the bottom shelf. I still get 42. Okay, there's one way. Let's think of another way. Let's think of if I have 10. If I do 10 on the top shelf, how many would I have to add to get to 42? So if I jump by 10s, let's lock in 10, 20, 30, 40, so 3 10s. So I have 3 10s, so I have 30, and I need to still jump to 42. So think on like a number line. I just did, so I'm going to kind of show you my thought process for this one. So when I'm at 10, I'm going to jump all the way to 40. And that was, I jumped 3 10s, so 30. And then I'm going to make a little jump to 42, so 2. So 30 plus 2 is 32. So friends, you can kind of see how eventually, once you start practicing these strategies over and over again, these strategies you won't have to write down anymore. You'll be able to be like, oh, well, I know if I add 30 more to 40 in my head, I can just add 2 more and I'm going to get 42. If you're not there yet, that is completely fine. If you still need to draw it out, keep working with it. There's no reason why we can't do that. But if you are start to seeing like, oh, I don't need this step anymore, get rid of it. See if you can start challenging yourself to do it in your head. But I'm still going to need you to write down sometimes your strategy so I can check it. And then maybe a third one. Let's do if I did 20. If I started with 20 on the top shelf, how many would I have to add to get to 42? Remember, our goal is always 42. 42, 42, 42. So let's do our number line again. If I started with 20, let's do if I add a 10, so 30, 40. I can't go over 42, so I jumped 20 times and I got to 40. And then my end goal was 42. That's my little jump there. So now I have 20 plus 2, so 22. You can have a variety of answers. So if you have a different answer, that's fine. Just make sure it adds up to 42, okay? So you can always check, it says check your answer and show your work. Well, you could have a bunch of different ones. So for this one, as long as you kind of showed your thought process a little bit, I'll take it. If you want to give more than 3 ways and blow me away, go for it. But I don't think we need to do this one. You are good. Okay? Alrighty. Nice job today, friends. We are going to continue on our new lesson on tomorrow. So, nice job. Go take a break. Have your lunch. See ya.